Friday was a big day. It's a big day for me. It's a big day for the president. And Rosenberg's going to break it down from the white guy and the realness. Let's do it. Did you like that setup? Being the white guy?
It wasn't really the perspective I was coming from, but I guess it is inherently the perspective that I'm coming from.
Exactly.
So, someone emails me and says, Ballard says, did you see...
Another white guy.
Did you see the president yet? I said no. Jumped on YouTube, saw an 18-minute clip of the president speaking on Trayvon Martin, and I sat there mesmerized for 18 minutes. The president of the United States of America spoke to white people is what he did. He spoke to white people on
America,
Friday.
by the way, is mostly white.
Right. Now, black people got to enjoy this more than anyone, but the conversation wasn't directed at you. The conversation was about the black experience to white America. And what made that amazing to me as a white person who's always tried to sympathize and identify with the experience of non-white people in America.
You sympathizer.
It was amazing to hear someone actually put it in perfect terms. What did the president say? Well, I'll play you a couple things that blew me away. Here was one of them.
There are very few African-American men in this country who haven't had the experience of being followed when they were shopping in a department store. That includes me. There are very, very few African-American men who haven't had the experience of walking across the street and hearing the locks click on the doors of cars. That happens to me, at least before I was a senator. There are very few African Americans who haven't had the experience of getting on an elevator and a woman clutching her purse nervously and holding her breath until she had a chance to get off.
It's the president saying that he's had the experience of hearing people click the locks on the door because he's a black man. Seems obvious when you sit and think about it, but when he said it, I was like, mind blown. That's happened to the president of the United States of America. Not only is he the president, not only does he speak in a way that's always so convincing, but he's also biracial. So his ability to speak to a white audience and allow them for once to maybe hear, to really listen to and hear the experiences of a black man in America was pivotal. And I know there are a lot of people, myself included at times, who get frustrated with the president's policy decisions or how aggressive he is on certain issues. However, the moments that I believe will define his presidency, much like a lot of our great leaders, are these ones, are the speeches, the precedents he sets, the words that he uses in front of America to speak about the discrepancies in the justice system. The president to speak about how the justice system works against black people. Play that clip also.
The African American community is also knowledgeable that there is a history of racial disparities in the application of our criminal laws. Everything from the death penalty to enforcement of our drug laws. And that ends up having an impact in terms of how people interpret the case. Now, this isn't to say that the African American community is naive about the fact that African American young men are disproportionately involved in the criminal justice system, that they're disproportionately both victims and perpetrators of violence. It's not to make excuses for that fact, although black folks do interpret the reasons for that in a historical context. They understand that some of the violence that takes place in poor black neighborhoods around the country is born out of a very violent past in this country, and that the poverty and dysfunction that we see in those communities can be traced to a very difficult history.
Unbelievable. And not only that, he also, we don't have time to get into all of it, spoke about how he was aware that in all likelihood, percentages tell you that Trayvon was more likely to have been killed by one of his peers than a white man, because he spoke to the epidemic of black on black crime as well. It was a monumental moment. I was incredibly touched. I can only imagine, truthfully, how you guys and black Americans in general felt. Tell me that after the realness.
Wake up, New York.
The Hot 97 Morning Show.